Hey friends, Chief Mahto coming at you again here, talking about the new postage stamps. Have you guys seen them? Going to give you a little education here, courtesy of my good friend Robert Louis Ritzman. So the postage system shipping is all handled by the Holy See. They own all shipping on planet Earth. So, or at least in our portion of the ice dome, I'll put it that way, or the ice ring that encircles us, that we affectionately call Antarctica. But because of that, if you take a look at the stamps themselves, the international stamps, which are what I use because I live internationally or outside of DC, right? So I'm not domestic to there. On those stamps themselves, they say USA and then they say global. Why would I have global on there? And then look at the characters that they have, the numbers, the symbols, right? That's what I was talking about. We utilize the postal system. It's on the outside of our inner wall. Why? Because we engage in commerce with the public on the outside of the inner wall. The inside, that's where our wampum is used. That's where our flag flies. Yes, we are Americans. Yes, we are loyal to the Republic. But we're not Satanists. Nor are we owned by Satan and his minions or the Holy See and their upside down cross, that thing that they do. Look at where the Pope's hands are when he does that. It's an upside down cross. Look at the seat that he sits on. It's a serpent's head. And you put that together with the fact that all U.S. citizens are ultimately owned by the Vatican, and also the fact you're using their money, that should tell you a lot, kids. That should tell you that you are sitting here literally in Babylon as the scriptures described. That's what the Mahto villages are. That's what the Mahto nation is. It is a nation of law-abiding American Indian state citizen nationals who give our U.S. citizen 14th Amendment public servants 50% discounts on fresh fruits and vegetables in every village. And once established, like all other tribes, obviously we have our own law enforcement, our own courts. That's been enshrined within the preamble to the Declaration, our right to establish whatever we need to for our own mutual protections. That's exactly what the chief's doing, also under duty as a U.S. military veteran to protect the Republic. Why? Because I don't know if Trump's controlled opposition or not. That's why. And it doesn't matter. We're not here to stop any of that. We're not here to try to prevent the, World War III or whatever the worst parts of the scriptures are. Not my job. My job is to provide a place for everybody to buy and sell and to have an identification that is separate from that in the United States citizenry. Why? Because we are not their property, and a U.S. citizen is property of the corporate USA based out of D.C., formerly known as the Virginia Company. If you hear me repeating things, it's because I don't know when you're first hearing these videos, when you're first seeing me. Who's this guy? Why have I never heard this stuff? But why do I know it's true? Because you're being spoken to by the Spirit. Has nothing to do with me. I'm nobody and nothing special. Just a dad of 3 kids. Lost a daughter to alienation. So I definitely have some skin in this game. But the village, everything. We accept all religions. We accept all people groups. The only ones who cannot set foot inside of a Mahto inner village wall are pedophiles, violent offenders, attorneys, unrepentant attorneys, and anybody else who's disloyal to the Republic, secret society members, Masons, anybody who has an agenda that they claim or laws that they claim supersede those of the Republic. We follow the laws of the Republic in the Mahto villages. We don't keep anything secret. We're a private society. We don't have a constitution because we're not bankrupt. We use positive money. It's called wampum. And it predates anything that showed up here from the Europeans or from these Satanists masquerading as Jews. So yes, we are not Zionists at the Mahto villages. You see our flag? It's a messenger flag.
Can you be a Buddhist?
Yes. It has the Sioux medicine wheel on it. And it's on there for a reason. It's because the medicine that we bring is non-allopathic. It's natural. So I've already seen 2 people who have literally disappeared. You can't use the word cure, that's patented, but disappeared. Cold sores, herpes, any of these different things, all from natural remedies. So again, they've hidden the ball on just about everything, you name it. Educational system, history, medicine, law, banking, any other type of financial thing. That's why it's critical that we educate our members. That's why our first duty as Mahto members is to educate freely. That's why I don't charge for the information that I put out there. That's why I rely heavily on hashtag MahtoMinistries for donations, because my people know I'm not out here spending everything. Why? Because 99% of the value of the wampum gets returned to all the villages on the Feast of First Fruits. That's your growth. You contributed to that. That's yours. And remember, every village, the 10% that you tuck aside for, you know, the chief, okay, and by the chief I mean that I handle on behalf of you, okay, that's all in the gold coin for your particular village. Those are the coins that you store in your village or wherever your village chooses to store them, but you store them on behalf of the chief. Where do I know my stuff's safe? My villagers. You guys aren't thieves. You're law-abiding Americans. We all follow the same flag, the same Most High. We might have different names. We might have different religions, but we all believe in having a conservative lifestyle, being good to our fellow man, and trying to improve society. That's it. We'll let these knuckle draggers out here go ahead and have whatever narrative they want to play. They can use whatever names they want to use. It has nothing to do with us. The name on our coin says who we are. That's your Indian name. And our dates of birth are 9 months prior to the ones used in public. Why? Because Jeremiah 1:5 says so. That's why. Our scriptures. We're not required to follow anybody else's religion, especially the satanic ones that have stars everywhere. Star of David, the falling star, Satan. Badges. Why do they have a star for a badge? Why isn't it a bear? Why isn't it a flag? Because they're telling you they're part of the satanic empire, Babylon. Come out of Babylon. That's what a U.S. citizen is, people. You connecting the dots? Anyway, I hope this is found in the spirit of love in which it is offered. Keeping them short. Have a super day.